Good morning, students. In the last class, we have discussed about the single phase energy meter. So, energy meter is an instrument, is an integrating instrument which is used to record the energy consumed by the load in the household purposes or industries. Also, you can use the single phase energy meter. In the today's class, we shall discuss about the errors and its compensations. The main error of energy meter is creeping error that we have discussed in the last class. So what is this creeping error? Creeping error occurs when even though the pressure coil is energized and current coil is not energized, the disc will be rotating slowly, continuously and slowly. This error is called creeping error. To avoid this creeping error, you will be punching holes on the disc. Two opposite holes with same radius are punched on the disc. This is the about the creeping error. We shall discuss about the other types of errors. So other types of errors in energy meter are: first one is phase error or lag or power factor error. Phase error or power factor error. Okay, phase error or lag or power factor error. So this power factor error means you should maintain the angle between the primary flux and the secondary flux, that is pressure coil flux and the series coil flux, almost 90 degrees. So if it is not 90 degrees, then power factor error happens. This power factor error can be reduced by using the copper shaded bands. Copper shaded bands. So copper shaded bands are placed on the shunt magnet so that the angle is made approximately 90 degrees. That is, voltage and current angle will be maintained 90 degrees. And the second one is speed error. Sometimes the disc will be rotating too fast. So in order to, if the disc is rotating too fast, then there will be lot of energy consumed. Then meter reading will be very much high. So that means you need to pay too much of amount of money. So in order to avoid that, you need to that error is called speed error. In order to avoid that speed error, you need to use the braking magnet, position of the braking magnet. If you move inside, that is disc is covered, most area of the disc is covered, then the error will be less. And if it is at the edge, the error will be more. So like that, if you move the position of the braking magnet, then this speed error will be reduced. And creeping error. This error we have already discussed in the last class. So creeping error is nothing but slow and continuous motion of the meter of the disc even though the current coil is not excited. It's called creeping error. So in order to avoid this creeping error, you will be providing two holes on the disc. Two holes with same radius is provided on the disc. Next one is temperature error. Because of the temperature variations also, there are errors in the energy meter. So to avoid these temperature errors, shunt on the braking magnet is provided. Next, overload compensation. If there is overload, that means too much of load is connected to the energy meter, then also the error will occur. So because of that error, to avoid that error, you can provide the magnetic shunts. And frequency error, you need to maintain the frequency constant to overcome the frequency errors. For voltage variations also, you can replace the shunt magnet by saturated shunt magnet so that voltage variations can be reduced. This is about the errors and its compensations in energy meter. And next we shall discuss a problem on the energy meter. So here a 240 volt 5 ampere single phase energy meter has a constant of 1200 revolutions per kilowatt hour. So 1200 in this sentence, 240 is the voltage, V is equal to 240, 5 amperes is the current and 1200 revolutions is the constant K. When tested by applying 240 volts, the meter took 99.8 seconds to complete 40 revolutions. Find the percentage error. Is it running too slow or too fast? So to solve this, first the total energy consumed. The formula for total energy consumed is VIT into cos phi. Voltage into current into time into cos phi. So here usually these energy meters are cos phi means unity power factor meters. If they mention any power factor only, then you need to consider. If they didn't mention any power factor, you need to take it as unity power factor. Now substitute V is equal to 240, I is equal to 5, 240 into 5 into time into power factor is 1, into time is here, the time taken here is 99.8 seconds. 99.8 seconds. You need to mention it as watt hours. In time in hours you need to take. So here it is given as seconds. 99.8 seconds are to be converted to hours means 99.8 divided by 60 into 60. That means 1 hour has 60 minutes and 1 minute has 60 seconds. So 60 into 60, that is 3600, is the 99.8 divided by 3600 is in hours. So if you multiply these, then you will be getting 33.267 watt hours. So this is the true recording. This is the true recording, total recording. But the indicated reading is nothing but revolutions made per kilowatt energy in revolutions per kilowatt hours. That is, this is the K, constant K divided by kilowatt hours. So what is the constant K here? 1200. But actually what is the, how many revolutions it has done? 40 revolutions. So revolutions per kilowatt hour, revolutions by revolutions per kilowatt hour will give you the energy, kilowatt hour. So that means 40 divided by 1200. Here the answer should be in kilowatt hours. So it is in kilowatt hours. To make it in watt hours, here it is in watt hours. To convert, you need to divide by 1000. Divided by means it comes into upwards, that is 1000 is equal to 33.33 watt hours. So this is the indicated reading, but it is the total reading, actual reading. So that means these two are not matching exactly. So that means there is error. So that error is nothing but here the energy error is equal to true reading error minus indicated reading error. That is 0.066. Here this minus indicates it is more. That means the energy recorded is more than, that means it is running too fast. It is running too fast. So this is about energy meter. And one more problem. The meter constant of an energy meter is 1200 revolutions per kilowatt hour. That means this is the K is given. It is found to make 20 revolutions in 80 seconds. Then determine the load on the meter. So energy consumed is equal to K divided by kilowatt hour. That means 1200 is the K value, 20 is the revolutions. So revolutions by revolutions per kilowatt hour will give you the total energy. So 20 divided by 1200 is equal to 0.0167 kilowatt hour. And next, this kilowatt hour divided by time will give you the total load, kilowatts. So kWh divided by H will give you kW. So 0.0167 divided by time is nothing but here 80 seconds. You need to mention in hours. So 80 divided by 60 into 60 will give you the 3600, that is equal to 0.75 kilowatts. So this is the total load on the meter. Next, coming to the three-phase energy meter. So here three-phase energy meter, we are considering three-phase, that RYB, that means three-wire system you are considering. So for a three-wire system, two-element energy meter is sufficient. For a four-wire system, you need to take three-element energy meter. Here, element is nothing but one single-phase energy meter. So here there are two meters. If you observe this diagram, there are R, Y, B phases. Three phases are there. In the two phases R, there is one energy meter, and in the Y phase there is another energy meter, and in the B phase there is another energy meter, and the neutrals are given to the Y phase. Okay. So that means this is one element and this is the other element. So with the two elements itself you are measuring the three phase system, three phase energy. Three phase energy you are calculating. So this is called two element energy meter, and this is given to three phase. So this is also called three phase energy meter. So as there are two elements means two single phases you need to take. One single phase consists of one shunt magnet and one series magnet. In between these two, one moving system and also one braking system. One spindle is connected. Spindle is common for all these three. For all these two elements, the spindle is common. Likewise, there is another element consists of one shunt magnet and one series magnet. On the series magnet there is current coil C2, and on the shunt magnet there is pressure coil P2, and here P1 C1. These pressure coils, if you see here, observe here, this is R phase, Y phase and B phase. From R phase, there one goes to the current coil and one goes to the pressure coil. So this is wire to the pressure coil and this is the wire to the current coil. And in the B phase also, there is in B phase the other element is connected. So for the B phase, one goes to the current coil and the other wire goes to the pressure coil. And both the Y phases are joined. The load Y phase and the supply phase are joined here. So that means the pressure coils are connected in series and the pressure coils are connected in parallel and the current coils are connected in series to the load. So this is about the construction. Now coming to the working principle, here also induction principle only, but there are two torques produced. So there is one net torque in the first element, that is TD1, and there is another net torque in the second element, that is TD2, and the sum of these two torques TD is equal to TD1 plus TD2, that is the total driving torque. This total driving torque is the because of this driving torque the disc will be rotating. So that is the working principle. And here also likewise in single phase energy meter, TD is proportional to TB, that is braking torque. So that means energy is proportional to the number of revolutions made by the energy meter. So the torques of both the elements is added mechanically and the total rotation of the shaft is proportional to the three phase energy consumed. So this is about the two element energy meter. Next, consider three element energy meter. In this three element energy meter, there will be three elements. So one element, as I discussed earlier, one element means element consists of one pressure coil, one current coil, one aluminum disc, one braking magnet. So this is one complete element, and this is the second element, and this is the third element. So here it is represented here. From supply it is given to the R, Y, B and neutral phases, that means 4 wire system. And here load also there are R, Y, B and neutral. In the first R phase there is one current coil and one pressure coil, and Y phase current coil, pressure coil C2, P2, and B phase C3, P3, current coil and pressure coil. All the pressure coils are connected to the neutral. That means all the pressure coils are connected in parallel. And the current coils are connected in series to the load. That means from R there should be two wires going. One goes to the current coil and another wire goes to the pressure coil. And likewise for Y also there are two wires. One goes to the C2, other goes to P2. From B phase one goes to C3 and the other goes to P3. And both the neutrals are supply neutral and the load neutral are joined together, and also all the pressure coil endings are given to the neutral wire, and this is the given to the load. So this is about the connection. And coming to the working principle, there are three elements here. So each element will have the driving torque TD For first element, the driving torque is TD1, and second element, the driving torque is TD2, and the third element, the driving torque is TD3. And total driving torque TD is equal to TD1 plus TD2 plus TD3, and this driving torque is equal to the braking torque. So that means it is equal to the K into N, that is number of revolutions. Likewise in the single phase energy meter, you can solve this also, three element energy meter. Here also the total revolutions made will be proportional to the energy consumed by the load. So this is about the working principle of three element energy meter. So now we shall discuss briefly now. So energy meter consists of four systems. One is driving system, moving system, braking system, and registering system. So here in all, for the three phase energy meter, there is only one registering system, that is one common spindle is there, so one registering system. But the other three systems, that is driving system, moving system, and braking system, will be different for all the phases. So for each element consists of three systems, but the registering system is common. Okay, for three phase energy, three phase energy meter or two element energy meter, there are two single phase energy meters. That means one element is called one energy meter. So for two phases, there are two energy meters connected to the two phases, and they are connected to the load. The pressure coils are connected in parallel and the current coils are connected in series. For the three element system, there are three elements, and these three elements are given to the three phases of the supply, and the other endings are given to the load. All the pressure coils are connected to the neutral wire, and the current coils are connected in series to the load. So this is about the energy meter. And remember what is the units of energy? Is kilowatt hours. Okay. Okay. Thank you.